How are you today?
All right, pretty good. Thank you, Scott. Hey, Andy. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Steve. Hello, Scott. Hi, everybody.
Yes. Hello, Mike C, Bill, Timothy, Dave. Kind of a slow, typical July trading day. Will be some fireworks probably tomorrow, but we'll get into that in a moment. So we'll get started here as the regulars file on in. We'll go through the normal disclaimers. Just a reminder, Andy and myself have been trading for a very long time, and we've been employees of Trade Ideas for many years now as well. But we do trade our own account. The things we talk about here really are our own opinions. They're not trade ideas, and we're not giving financial advice because we didn't study and take all those tests they make you take to give official financial advice. But we do have a vibrant community of traders that are coming to Trade Ideas as new users every day, and we point them in the right direction, which is the live trading rooms. There's really not much a new user can do by just coming into chat and saying, hey, my window's blank, what do I do? It doesn't really work that well for either of us, so we send you to the live rooms. We have tons of videos, but these live sessions are really the place to be. And if you're not with Barry from bell to bell every day, you can at least hopefully drop by at 12 Eastern, noon Eastern, and check out one of us. I'll take over on Thursdays. Andy takes over on Fridays for an hour. We jump into Barry's live stream and just give a different set of eyes and ears and answer questions and help people. So if you're not aware of this, I mean, we really can't believe that more people are not coming into it. We're trying our best to get the word out, but every day we are there. And then Chris does a bonus session every day at 3:30 Eastern, just to kind of clean up and mop up the day. If there's anybody who's still having issues, just go to this website right here, tradeaideas.com/live. That'll redirect you to the YouTube live stream, and you will find us there. So 2 hours a day for individual, specific to the users only, 12 and 3:30 p.m. Other than that, Barry is on that live stream doing his thing. He's got his own room as well, but he simulcasts on the live stream, so you can reach him as well at that same link below. So the learning curve is there for Trade Ideas, but you got to go through it, and we recommend that you come to these events to really help custom tailor what you want to get out of the system and make the most out of the program, because any type of trader can use it. It's just a matter of how you want to set it up. You've probably seen the new feature of stock racing. We've actually replaced the cars with the newer features. We now documented all of the corporate logos and replace those with the cars. You'll see those in the newer version coming out soon. But again, it's just a real good way to visualize data. We've been looking at spreadsheets and tickers for so long that thinking outside the box came up with an idea as to how to make that data jump off the page. And stock racing is a great addendum to the top list windows. As you know, they refresh every 30 seconds or so, but the cars are, stock race cars are really showing in real time. Much better way to visualize what's really happening rather than trying to train your eyes on a spreadsheet and what's moving up and down on a spreadsheet. Just a free ebook reminder. It's probably due for a new ebook, but until we have a new ebook, the latest one written was by Dave Mabe, who is our main guy in terms of software development. He's at the captain's chair, and he is also a trader. That's what's very unique about Trade Ideas. It's not software built for traders, it's traders who built software for traders, and Dave Mabe is one of them. He's been trading for 20 years, and he's the director of software development, and that's what you're getting with Trade Ideas. So if you want to pick his brain, he has a free ebook you can find at this URL at the bottom /strategy. And that's our latest in the ebooks. So that brings us to our usual every other week Tuesday reminder. Humans and machines got to work together. They just don't work well on their own. I couldn't do this without Trade Ideas, but I wouldn't rely on a AI type robot to do all my trading for me as well. I need to have a hand in it also. So it's a great relationship, human and machine. The machine brings forth the best curated ideas, and we, the humans, can still outrun the machines and the AI in real time when it comes to nuances and brand new data coming our way. We still have a human brain, and that still kicks ass. So man and machine combined, woman and machine combined, it's just the way it's got to be. You can't do it solo without the other. So again, as mentioned, slow July Tuesday. Guy, I had a really busy day, and so did Andy, so I don't have a whole lot of prepared content for you. So we're just going to kind of wing it today based on our model. We've got a market recap I'll talk a lot about. There really is no AI recap today. Again, this we'll just skip that. We'll go right into the two trades of the week. APPH triggered and worked. TAN did not trigger, but I've got a lot to talk about how maybe to approach TAN now, and it's also some good content. We'll get into that. We're going to set some more alerts like we did last week. I'm going to bring up the price alerts that we set together 2 weeks ago. We'll take a look at see how those did on the performance side. And of course, they did pretty good. And we'll try and do that again this week, set some more alerts based on a couple different bullish and bearish scans we're going to look at. And then again, I've asked a couple weeks if anybody has a out of the box unique trading question, trading psychology, something that doesn't have to do with charts or price action, anything goes. Hold on to that question and save that for the end, whether it's psychology or a struggle you're having, and we can try and address something. And then we'll finish, of course, with chart requests. We'll take a look at the charts out there. But to start with, we need to get right into the mix of what's happening tomorrow, which is the CPI numbers are coming out. And today, as I'm going to blow this up just a little bit since we're focusing on charts. Here's our daily and here's our 15. So during the day here today, we had a real quiet Monday for the most part, and kind of a quiet early morning. But then, who knows? Maybe the street started to get some rumors. That's how the market works sometimes. People spread rumors that maybe the CPI number is going to come in a lot hotter than expected. That may have been the reason for the late day sell-off. We've got a bit of a bounce back here, and we're trading at the same spot after hours. So don't know what that was all about, but that was the intraday picture. I want to go now to the daily. There's a lot going on. We are still in a bear market. This is nothing like, remember Andy, when we were just talking, just ad nauseum back here, just buy the dip, going higher, no
Yep.
bear case, no bear case, no bear case to be made. Well, we're on the other side of the mountain now. The market's broke. Price action is now below all the moving averages. We have price channels that are definitely starting to materialize here. If I can't freehand that well, come on, you can do better than that. That's a little better. In the S&P, and we'll just kind of freehand that channel. That's
Ooh, that's
really
pretty
where,
good.
yeah, that's really where we are, guys. Sell the rips. If you're going to buy the dips, you better get out quick because they don't last long. But this is the broad S&P 500 right here, and this is a down channel. So we're heading into tomorrow again with a big unknown. That's what everybody was talking about. Apparently there were a lot of puts being bought. VIX is a horrible broken ETF, but it's all I have really to show you. But there was some spiking in VIX at the close. A lot of people were buying S&P 500 puts that are
God, it's
fund
broken.
managers. It's so broken. I don't even want to bring it up. That's a whole other topic. But a lot of fund managers are nervous. Okay, guys, they're seeing the same thing we see. They see a down channel. We see a big news event coming into tomorrow. We're at the high end of the channel. A lot of insurance was being bought on the close today. Now, I was in the Spaces room today, and if you follow me on Twitter, you probably also saw on Friday that I posted I got short the Nasdaq, the Qs. And guys, this dovetails, all right? Everybody who shows up, week after week, what did we talk about last week? We talked about this 50-day SMA and things that just get trapped under it. We back tested a strategy. We set some alerts. We'll take a look at those coming up here. So I'm sitting here watching the Nasdaq because the S&P was nowhere near, okay, it's 50-day, but the Nasdaq had itself a nice little healthy bounce, and it came up and it kissed the 5-day, the 50-day SMA, which is right there on Friday. And I looked at it and I said, why am I not just selling it? I mean, the confidence that we've been looking at going through back testing and seeing the results, if you're in the mood to be shorting things, this is where you want to short them. So the tweet is out there. I retweeted it today. I said yesterday, I'm still in it, and I'm in it again today. So I'm now playing with kind of the house's money, as you would say it, because I've had virtually no pain by shorting right there, which brings me to the vehicle I used, which is SQQQ. So again, very important point here I'm going to make. The trade was based on the simple NASDAQ Q chart. There's no inverse going on here. This is as pure as it gets. This is the price action I based my decision to go short the NASDAQ on. But I did it by way of SQQQ. to get that triple leverage. So essentially, I'm in the money down here, and I'm just going to kind of wait and see what happens. I might kick myself for not taking profits, but I feel like I'm kind of playing with the house's money here. And if we get a really bad number tomorrow that the market was kind of signaling, I am fully prepared to start taking profits tomorrow. All right, just from my own perspective, if we gap down and start trading lower tomorrow, I'm going to be taking profits along the way. That's going to be me. That's how I like to do it. I mean, in hindsight, it looks really simple. You sell the channel and you buy the channel back, or you cover it if you're short. So that's where my focus is. I do have a couple of longs, APPH, one of which is a trade of the week, and we will talk about that. I'm pretty sure that was the trade of the week, right? Yeah, I'm still in that one. Haven't sold any. But we'll come back to that because we're still talking about the market in general. So tomorrow, what can happen? All right, so the market has painted itself into a little corner here below the 50, which we've already seen, and I've leaned on it, put my made a speculation based off of it. We're pinched between the 50 and the 20. I don't know how we're going to resolve, but I think tomorrow with the CPI numbers, we will resolve one way or the other. So I'm either going to make some good money on this trade, or I'm going to wind up probably getting out for a flat. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd like to be the one, dishing out what people what people want tomorrow. But as far as the bigger picture goes, I mean, let's just look at some of the other names here, like the bellwether of Apple. Apple, okay, interesting. Apple has claimed it's 50 and it's trying to hold on to it. So there's a little bit of disparity between Apple and the actual NASDAQ. I find that interesting. Didn't you say you were maybe nibbling a little bit in the IWM short, Andy, or did I dream that?
I actually shorted IWM 2 days ago,
With
but I
me,
did
yeah.
cover a day. Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
I
You took
yeah,
profits today.
yeah. I just I had some China longs that I bought on pullbacks yesterday and today that were working for me, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take these profits, and I probably wished I'd still had that hedge back in the morning, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But interesting enough, yeah, my China stocks held up pretty good from the point I bought them at anyway. So
Well, that's kind of a good segue because they're really coming into this weekend. If I don't show yesterday and today, all right, there's the weekend look. Coming into the weekend, the China stocks and the solar stocks were really the strongest sectors that I could see out there. I mean, we've been talking about the S&P and the NASDAQ under the 50-day and the 200-day and all that stuff, but you look over here at China, and Andy really was one of the ones that picked this up extremely early and noticed. If you've been following his sessions, he's been very much focused on the radar of his China stock watch list. But they kind of gave it back here a little bit yesterday and today, so they're resetting over there in China, KWeb land. But before we move on, anything you want to add to the general market
no,
discussion?
no, you were pretty much spot on. It's just it's a bear market. I like your odds for tomorrow to be able to take some profits. And if we do break below that 20, I was telling Steve earlier in the Qs, there's a very good chance we could go down and take out the lows of the year and maybe test that weekly we've been talking about. So
that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to remind my future self tomorrow that my current calm and collected current self, Steve, says you'd be crazy not to take some profits if this alert goes off tomorrow, Steve. Not all of it, most of it.
yeah, there you go.
So this is me trying to stay ahead of myself tomorrow. So in the moment, I'm going to remember why I set this alert. I have a bad tendency to want to get greedy and hold on to too long, but I've got to adhere to my targets and take my profits when I'm
And
due.
you look back there to the pandemic low, and it could not reach down there to that level too. So maybe it would be wise to start taking profits if you get a
Yeah.
big gap down.
Yeah, if any gap down and weakness tomorrow, I'm going to be taking profits into that, trying to be going the opposite direction, not chasing it, but fading out of it, and being happy that I at least positioned myself. But I don't want to get ahead of myself and jinx myself because the trading gods are very cruel. So speaking of trading gods being cruel, there's really nothing to talk about over there in the AI today. So we'll just go ahead and skip that. Let's go right into APPH, one long that I do still have. Let's see. I think I might have a buy tag in there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been long APPH since here. However, our trade ideas, trade of the week was to buy it above 379, above 380. So basically sat through this whole pullback. Once I saw this wonderful bottoming tail here, sometimes candles really do come into play, and I would expect, I'm getting a weird drawing thing here. My machine's freezing up. After a nice 4 or 5 day pullback, a beautiful bottoming tail like that, right off the 20, right off the 50 and popping back up. Well, that was our bogey. That was our high going into the weekend of 380. So again, if you're not familiar, it's been hard to find stocks going up. That's the mandate of the trade of the week, not to short stocks, but to find things going up. And usually if we look hard, there's always some relative strength or some sort of a story stock that might be developing. And maybe this is that story stock. It's a company that does indoor farming, greenhouse, saves 90% water, very efficient, very productive. This is the kind of stuff that could start making headlines soon. Sometimes I can be a little early to the party and kick myself for getting out too early, so I'm staying in this. I did sell a little bit at the 200, which is exactly what, I don't have the email handy, but if I pulled up the email, it said, if we get a nice run, might not be a bad idea to sell half going into the 200-day. Matter of fact, I can't tease that without confirming it. So let's just go ahead and look at that email because I can pull it up here. There we go. So, dun, 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 a near-term target would be to sell half during into the declining 200-day average. So I did that personally myself. Did that, and I've taken some profits, and that's it. I still have about 3/4 of this position on. And what I fully expect APH to do here is just consolidate, hopefully above this 10, maybe another day or so, and get enough strength to try and push back above that declining 200 and take that over with some conviction. It was nice to see it close above the 200 on this day here, but it gave it right back the last 2 days. So I'm just going to chalk that up as consolidation. I fed the gods. I sold a little bit here at the 200 day and let the rest of it work. But the idea is to get the chart to confirm the story and vice versa. So these could be some headline type of technologies for agriculture and farming going forward. I could be very early. If I sell some more, I'll probably at least try to hang on to half, and see if we can get back up to these prior highs, down the road. But we'll see. Yes, David, thank you. And of course, I had to point that out. That did say that. So hopefully you guys read the emails, not just the headline, because there's some juicy tidbits sometimes and some concepts in there that you do want to pay attention to. Which brings us to solar. Okay, the other ETF coming into the weekend that was strong, aside from the China ETFs, were the solars. If I can just get the right. So TAN really was one of the only ETF sectors that I saw that clearly broke out and closed above its 200-day simple moving average. KWeb also above its moving averages handily. No, it's below its 200-day. My bad. It's above its others. So from a sector top-down approach, I started looking at some individual names. JKS was interesting, but there was a lot of chases. There was a lot of green bars. And so in this particular email, we said, well, let's just go with the actual underlying sector and not try and pick a winner in the group, because sometimes individual names can disappoint. But a sector on the whole, I like to do that with the biotechs too, using IBB, which also actually has been rather strong. Look at that as well. IBB has been holding up okay as well. But I digress. Back to the solars. Basically, the email was kind of loosey-goosey. It said the new high is the trigger, but if you can find something where it makes sense to consolidate and you want to buy this solar ETF anywhere on a consolidation pattern, be my guest. The downside is going to remain the same. The downside is going to remain the 50-day SMA if we get a close below that. So that being said, what I did was, no, not that. I did yesterday is I took a position yesterday, and you can see where I took it. I'm going to go back to my intraday here, okay? So yesterday the market opened up, tan gap down, didn't trigger, thank God, didn't trigger anything, gap down, and then bounced around this 130 line, which is my 5-day moving average. So I said, you know what, this seems like a pretty fair entry. Rather than chasing, we've talked a lot about trying to chase breakouts. It's very hard. So looking for a place that makes sense. I went ahead and bought like half size right there yesterday. So I'm underwater in tan today, but it's okay. I still have my out, 50-day moving average. It was a strong sector, and strong sectors sometimes have to go forward 3 steps before they give 2 steps back. Could have been a bit more patient, but no, I felt like yesterday was at least a good place to try and enter that. So officially, the solar TAN trade of the week is not on, but I went ahead and took a little small position in it, and I'm going to see if it develops into anything. You're welcome to do what you want, but the point is I am going to be using this 50-day moving average just to qualify. I don't mind if it tests it on the open, but it bounces back above. That's what I'd like to see. What I don't want to see is a test and then a bleed and a close below. If that happens, then I will be getting out. That is my exit strategy at the end of the day. If the candle is going to close and not wick and not bounce and show its true colors, I'm not sticking around for the next day. I'm going to get out. Drew, yes, we are recording this, and you can find the recording will be up tomorrow. So if you missed anything in the beginning, it'll be up tomorrow on our regular YouTube channel, probably sometime mid-morning. You're welcome. All right, Andy, anything you want to add on the last 2 trade of the weeks? Did I miss anything?
Well, no, that's you're spot on, and I like what you were saying about buying these pullbacks. I bought DQ today and JKS
We're going to talk about that.
on the 20 period moving average, and I got to go check into a flight.
Gotcha.
So.
I'll come back to you. So Andy, he was talking to us a little bit this morning and saying he was buying a few things in DQ and JKS was one of them. And I said, well, what do you got over there? I haven't got something I'm missing. He said, I'm just using my basic above the 20. So history, I'm sorry. Was it this one? No. You know what? I think I lost it. Let me go back and grab that from you from earlier. Or maybe I just have the same one up. Let me just check here. Pull back above the 20. No, that's not the one I want. I gotta get the one that you gave me, Andy. So hang on one second. I'll scroll back and get it. I did have it, but I think I must have closed it. One second, guys.
Okay, I'm back.
You got that scan for me? I lost it. Here it is. I got it.
I see it on your screen, don't I?
That's 50. I want the 20.
No, that was above the 50, but I think I shared a 2 with you. So go ahead. You probably found the one with the.
There it is.
There it goes.
Okay, so this is just a simple scan. Show us stocks making new lows. No more than 0.05% below their 20-day SMA. Okay, that doesn't mean they're not going to go lower. We're just not going to get reporting if it goes lower. And change from the 50, got to be above the 50 at least by 100. So that's a simple scan. New low is the event. And so, today as we go through here, I'm going to look at a couple of these on the daily. I'm going to start off on the early in the day. Verizon started off early on the day, and you can see there's that arrow. Let's see, CRM was another one. That was
that one. Yeah, that one. The 50 was a little too close on that one.
Here's a probably good example. T. Just pulling back and bouncing. Focus on the red line, guys, on my daily chart here. Red line is the 20-day, and that was a nice little bump. So you see that little arrow, and typical in the morning, you get a spike down on my chart here. That arrow says we tagged the 20-day SMA right there, and this is really what makes Andy and I believe that the algorithms that run these markets use these moving averages as morning waypoints and critical key inputs, they call them. So Andy's basically just looking for good charts that have maybe consolidated and fallen back. Again, we're not trying to chase anything because that doesn't seem to work these days, but DQ is a fresh name. It's a trade of the week. Look what DQ did last time it bounced off the 20. I know that was fresh in Andy's mind today when it broke out a few days ago and made everybody feel FOMO for not being in it or chasing it, which is the last thing you want to do. But what you want to do is you want to say, okay, DQ is back in play. I'm going to set some alerts and keep an eye on that sucker. And sure enough, if it pulls back to a level of interest, this is how diabolical this market can be right now. It can literally just hold you upside down and just shake out and take both people out on both sidewalks of the street, to use a horrible analogy, but that's the market that we have. So you've got to be the one who kind of anticipates those entries. So I'm going to do this. I want to set a couple of alerts, and before we do that, let's revisit last week, because we're going to come back and do the same thing. Real quickly, here's some price alerts from last week. Let me bring these up. 2 weeks ago, my bad. 2 weeks ago, we talked about looking at that scan that I have called slamming into the 50 right there. We'll look at that one again. But I said, if we had set all these alerts back here, which were these days right here, okay, here's 15% to the short side. Look at that. There was our entry. Look at that, Andy. Beautiful
Nice.
entry right there.
Uh,
15% to the downside for you swing traders, right to the 200-day. Pretty darn good on that one. The very next one was, let's see, 7%. That wasn't too bad. Hit the 50-day SMA right up here. We said go short, and really nice one. So I'm not going to show all of them, but basically, there's about 25% to the upside, minus 5% to the downside. There's about 20% of movement there on some decent downside downside movers, only because we're playing off the 50. So I'm
nice.
going to clear these out, delete, and we'll come back to that. But just in case the market does want to get a little weird and decide that it wants to bounce tomorrow on any kind of CPI inflation numbers for who knows what reasons, we can look at some of these plays above the 50 and see if any of them might make sense for tomorrow. DQ, we're going to put in there, but I'm going to put like right here. I'm going to put like here midday, just see where it got caught up on midday price alert, see if we can get a little half bar reversal. Might be something to watch tomorrow. Go back to our daily. Interesting. 1 day of pullback. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing that we could also go midday and just say if this thing wants to try and reverse off of that 20, if it would let me. Oh yeah, don't worry. I always share the scans that we talk about, which will be both of them. Okay, so that could be, if we get a bounce tomorrow, that could be interesting. Game, huh? GameStop's on there. Look at that 200-day killing GameStop. Just doesn't want it. Path, not really seeing a
Kind of
great
no
trend
man's land.
here.
Yeah.
No great trend there. Kind of the same
But they
thing.
had a nice, bounce though today.
I like
Off that
EDU
top.
the best, though. I know you
Isn't
do
that
too.
good? I know, I do.
So we're gonna
I
say
almost bought
EDU.
it today.
Yeah, look at that right off the 20, guys. These education stocks, for whatever reason, especially Chinese education stocks,
Yeah.
they've been on fire. So this is a really solid one. I'm just going to go a little head start and just call it right there, 21.97 tomorrow to the upside. Could be an interesting trend reversal. We did DQ already. That's a purchase. That's a buyout. JKS, we're going to do this one because it's also the solar. It goes into the same vein of
Hmm.
TAN that we talked about for trade of the week. Hopefully it does this tomorrow. That'll help my TAN, but I'm going to go ahead and mark this up as the last one for the upsides right there.
I did buy that one today at 64. I think
Okay.
you saw me call that in
Yeah.
Skype. I believe.
And what a
Yeah.
good buy that was. Look
That
at that.
was a
No
good one.
pain. Not a lot of pain at all because you're looking left, you're buying off of a level. Guys, it's so much more easier to be not this person chasing fear of missing out, but watching, waiting for your spot, and then just getting in and having no pain. It's a lot more fun to trade that way when it works.
Hmm.
Okay, so there's some upside alerts, and I will share those out. And before we go, I'll share this scan because somebody asked for it. I will put this in the chat. And there's the cloud link in the chat. Pull back to the 20. Now, those would be longs, possibly tomorrow. Let's look at that one that we did 2 weeks ago and see if we can find some more interesting. Right off the bat, that's kind of interesting. Look at this 50-day moving average just beat this thing into a pulp. I mean, this is why I use this. When you start to see correlations like that, you can't ignore it. So I just do what I did before. Take low of those 2 days. We'll create a short alert, and we'll pop that in there as a short alert. That looks pretty weak too.
It
Yeah,
does.
that looks really weak. It just can't get back above. And this is what's been working. So we'll just throw a few ideas in there and we'll share it. I will share this scan, don't worry. TJ Maxx. It's got those moving averages right underneath it. Kind of hold on. Retail was kind of strong today. I'm going to stay away from that one. Zoom out a little bit here. We already did that. STZ. Ooh, a lot of wicks in STZ. What is this thing? Constant Winery.
Constellation Brands. Yeah.
It's very rejectful, isn't it? I don't
It
like it.
is very rejectful.
Let's go ahead and let's see if we can capitalize on those rejections. Oh, too strong of a day there. That one already gave it up. Would have been nice to see that one earlier.
Hmm.
Eli Callaway, another wine and golf company. Geez, you know what? People are not playing golf right now. I bet I'm gonna we're saving money. Go ahead and put an alert on that. So that's what I'm doing. Let's just find one more, guys, and I'll share these scans, and I'll share this alert as well. Lazy boy. Huh? Now that looks strong. That broke out. Not touching that one. That might be it for the stuff that looked good. Domo Arigato. That's looking pretty tight right there. I'll stay away from that one. I think we got a few good ideas. Okay, so let me, again, just for fun, let's back test this strategy one more time just to see what we're doing here. A hold timed exit for tomorrow plus 3 days, or you could even do 2 days, total of 3-day holds if you want, but I'll keep it consistent. That's where we had it. Risk management. If we take a short at that level, we risk 2% to the upside to try and gain 7% to the downside. Advanced, let's just go the whole 9 yards here, all 62 days of trading data that we have, and we'll simulate sell. And we're essentially just updating the back testing that we did last week. If you guys recall, last week we did some back testing and we did some optimizations and found the best time of day to work and found the best way in which the S&P was up or down to see. But let's check in 2 weeks later and see how it's still doing okay.
Still doing good. Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, here's a giant trading myth. What is your win percentage? I need a win percentage in the 70s. Okay, well, this win percentage is 49.3, but it's doing just fine as a swing trading win percentage. It proves the myth that it doesn't come down to win percentage. It comes down to risk management and how you manage your trades accordingly. So this is still a viable strategy. We had a little bit of a hiccup here the last couple of weeks, but it looks like the last batch that came through scored okay. We've got another batch that came through today. We'll see how those score in the next couple of days on a back test here, if we ever revisit it. But pull back to the 20. Okay, let me give this scan out. And while I'm doing this, guys, again, if you have any questions relating to trading in general, psychological, money, anything that's not always so technical related, we can start there. But if you don't, we'll finish up with just the charts that you want to look at, and then we'll take a look at the chart. So here comes the slam into the 50 in the chat window. That's the one we just back tested for a 3-day hold short. And then as promised, I also created some price alerts, which did pretty darn good last time we gave them out. And one of them just, Eli Lilly just triggered. So let's go ahead and reset that. I'll just bring it down a skosh. All right, why do I have that? Oh, I've got company name in there. I don't want company name. Let's do this the right way, Steve.
Yeah.
Columns, the company name. Get out of there. There we go. Now we have a nice clean look. Everything's working. Nothing is triggered. Some are above, some are below. We just reset that one. Okay, so we had 4 from below and 4 from above. All I have to do is copy and share these selected 8. And you guys can open that code on your end, and the alerts will go off for us at the same time tomorrow and the next day. So we'll call this price alerts. Make sure I got that. And that's also there in the chat window for you. All right, so let's see if we have any questions before we head on out. General question. Can I only use TI Web on Apple computer or Chrome? TI Web is only available on the web computer. You should be able to use it on Safari. Chrome, what's the answer to, that's just the browser. You should be able to use it on Chrome. Am I missing something, Andy? You should be able to use both of those, right? Or you might be checking into your flight.
No. Yeah, you can. Okay. I would say this: the downloadable app is much better. But
well, having said that, yeah, having said the downloadable app is better, there is a solution for Mac users. You can purchase like a parallel, to divide your partition on your Mac and make it run Windows, or you can run a virtual desktop. Amazon Web Services has like a $20, $30 a month web virtual desktop. You can just run Windows on that. You're basically running Trade Ideas app through a window, or Microsoft 365 also has a virtual desktop solution. So the app is better because it's more feature rich. If you can find a way to make that work, those are some of your solutions. But otherwise, those 2 general browsers should work for you. for that one. All right, let me see here. Question. Huh, Camilo, good question. The question is thanks for your time and service. It does not make sense to me sometimes. Why do you sell your service and knowledge if you could do way better by finding private wealth investors, launching a hedge fund, or just investing your own money? We do invest our own money privately. I trade my own 401k. I trade my mom's account. I have another account. We've done trading for other people. That has its downside. That's not as fun sometimes as you might think it is. We do enjoy education and trading in an environment that also has a salary here at Trade Ideas, and we like helping people. That's a common question. And you want to add anything to that, Andy?
No, I agree. I've actually traded a hedge fund for a while.
It's stressful.
And yeah, it is. It can be very stressful. I just feel much more comfortable trading my own money. And like I said, we started trading with the CEO of this company, and me and Steve are like the very two first users of the product. So we definitely, we enjoy the product. We enjoy helping others, and they pay us pretty decently. So
which is always nice. I'm completely frozen over here. I don't know what to do. This is really weird.
You've been frozen a few times today, I noticed.
Yeah, this is really.
Is it locked up for good? I mean, for a while
it's locked up. I can't. Let me. I can't click anything.
You can maybe what we could do, Steve, is
can you take the desk?
No, but you can do control alt. Well, I guess I could, and bring up the. I don't have it up. You could, well, if you wanted to just leave, you could do control alt delete and just remove.
Is there something I've got open that is just not preventing me?
You'd hear a ding if that was the case. Here, I can do that. Let me see if I can pull up the.
Okay, I think I'm back. All
Are you back? Okay.
I think so. Yes, I'm back finally. Couldn't stretch out the questions here. All right, Camilo, good question. Timothy, thank you. Could you elaborate on the money flow index? Do you know much about the money flow index indicator? Because I don't.
No, I really don't. All these different types of index, and same thing with people wanting to know if people are taking the bid or hitting the bid or taking the offer. The problem is with that, means nothing if price action. That's the only thing that pays. So like what I like to do anytime there's volume, anytime I don't look at all that money flow and stuff like that, but what happens is it tends to give you kind of preconceived notion like, oh boy, somebody's buying a lot of this. But remember, somebody's also selling on the other end. So the only thing that matters to you is what is price action doing? Is it going up or is it going down? Or are there more buyers than sellers? And boy, a simple chart can tell me all that. So I try not to get too caught up in that stuff. But I'm sorry, I don't. That's a way to answer. I'm sorry I didn't answer your question, but that's the way I feel about it.
That was a really good question on why is the VXX broken? And I don't know. This is an instrument that was created and they're not doing it correctly. And I'm sure their lawyers are not sleeping very well over there. I can't pull up the .vix, that's the traditional one. But for whatever reason, this ETF is an absolute joke. Stay away from it. But even if I try to bring up .vix, I don't think I can. It doesn't bring it up. So I don't know why it's broken, but there's something definitely broken in that thing, and I wouldn't trust it. I would stay far away from it as possible. You're welcome, Timothy. Thank you for the nice comment on the trade of the weeks. They don't all work, but when the ones that do, they're nice. How to put the SPY and Q on the same chart with individual stock charts. So that's coming soon. It's called a comparison chart. We don't have it yet in our development version, but I saw a early version of it, Ken, where you can put two or more symbols on the same chart. Not currently, but it's going to be coming probably in the next few weeks in one of our newer beta releases. All right, anybody have any charts they want to look at? I can look at a couple charts, because other than that, we're going to call it a day in this quiet summer market. Yeah, stay away from it, Kamori.
Yes.
Try to find a way to trade the real one. You know, it's another reason I said you have to look at the QQQ if you're going to trade the SQQ, because it looks nothing like that on the inverse. It looks like a funhouse mirror upside down. You get these daily resets and these exaggerated movements. So ideally, when I play SQQ, I want to be in it for like 2 to 5 days, get in and get out, you know, take my move and then bail. All right, David wants to look at Merck. I was looking at that one earlier.
Oh yeah, it was on my
It
list
does look
today.
solid. Yeah, it's got a nice cup and handle action going on there, David. IBB is holding up well. The sector is strong. It's definitely holding up well. It's just a matter of where do you buy it? Do you buy it on promise on the 10 SMA, or do you hope not to get hosed on a breakout there above 95? But it's showing definitely good signs of strength there, David. BJ's, not bad, actually.
No, not at all.
Not a bad looking chart. It's running right smack into 70, which is a really brutal number, as you can see. The sellers are just licking their chops here at 70, so just be aware of that. You've had a nice move down here from 50 to 70. It's going to run out of steam eventually, but it's a strong chart. You just want to try and buy on pullbacks or buy on consolidation, not after 5 days. All right, got a couple more for Dave, then we'll bring in Scott. Monster, it's still Monster.
Another strong one.
MNST. Very strong. People stressed out, drinking beverages, but a lot of overhead supply coming up here at 100. Could have one more nice consolidation, then a move to 100. And when these things get in the neighborhood, they call it the $100 roll. It's almost like a foregone conclusion. They do want to hit it. It's just a matter of how well can you position yourself. UTHR, another strong one there. Therapeutics, try to stay away from swing trading the pharmaceuticals, but that is a strong chart. And today, a really nice washout. I bet that happened on the open, didn't it? Yep, look at that. Always on the open. Always wash out the weak hands on the open and see how they close. That's a good one. Did I lock up again? This is the last one. VRTX.
Same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, another good washout candle today. Keep an eye on those for sure. Timothy wanted Excel. Nice consolidation, Timothy. It's trying to hold that backstop of the 20. I'd like to see it hold that 20-day SMA, but that's a strong chart as well, for sure. All right, so yeah, Gordon, tomorrow just we'll drop a YouTube link in there real quick. I'll bring Scott back in and he can give you any last minute announcements, but our YouTube page will be where you find all of our channeled video replays. All right, Scott.
All right, yeah, thank you. A couple items on the way out. If you have an E-Trade account, you can connect that to your Trade Ideas Brokerage Plus module and trade directly from within Trade Ideas, manage your positions, all for no commission trading. It's a great way to experience no commission trading through E-Trade. We also have a connection with Interactive Brokers. They're a very reliable online broker. One of the, I think they're in the top 3 for our clients. I think it's TDA, E-Trade, and Interactive Brokerage. And they also connect directly to our Brokerage Plus module to trade directly from within Trade Ideas. You can learn more by going to tradeIdeas.com/IBKR and learn more about them. We've got a code. Fast Data will save you 15% off your first month or year of any new Trade Ideas subscription or upgrade from standard to premium. So if you want to start today or upgrade from standard to premium today, grab that code. It'll save you some cash on that first installment of the upgrade or new subscription. Our YouTube channel is Trade Ideas on YouTube, youtube.com/Trade Ideas. The webinar replay will be available there tomorrow. You also get an email reminder tomorrow with a link to the playlist. TI Steve G is Steve on Twitter. Go ahead and give him a follow and like his posts. Facebook.com/Trade Ideas Pros, where we're found on the Facebooks. And Steve has been doing a great job on TikTok. You can find him at Today Trader. We've also got some Trade Ideas handles that you can locate. And info@tradeIdeas.com is the support email to contact with any questions you have, or if you need help with anything, it goes to our support desk, and our team will get you the solution as quickly as possible. Thanks, everyone. As I mentioned, the recording will be up tonight, and you get an email reminder tomorrow. So thanks. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Andy. Have a nice rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, everybody. I will be out of town going to San Diego for a couple of business meetings and some vacation. So Thursday, we will not have a webinar. So see you next 2 weeks from then. Bye-bye.
So come to the trading room in the morning instead. All right.
That's right. That's right.